guys, it's Alice and today it is time for another book haul. I got quite a lot of books in April and we're going to start with the fiction books, the first one being Everything I Never Told You by Celeste Ng. I honestly just got this because I read Little Fires Everywhere by Celeste Ng and I loved that book, so I thought I would just try something else by her. This one is set in Ohio in the 1970s and we follow a Chinese-American family, and I think the story is about what happens when the daughter of the family goes missing, which sounds very intriguing. Speaking of Celeste Ng and Little Fires Everywhere, I know that the TV adaptation has come out. I don't know if the whole season is out or not, but have any of you watched it? I can't find anywhere to watch it in Norway and it's so frustrating, but I'm wondering if it's any good. Secondly, I picked up Ask Again Yes by Mary Beth Keane. So this is a book that has been recommended to me a lot, and I've seen a lot of comments from you guys saying that you've read this and you really like it. So I thought I would give it a go. It sounds really good. It's set in the suburbs, which you guys know I love, and I think the story is about two neighboring families and their lives sort of intertwine somehow, and it sounds right up my alley. By the way, I really like the cover of this because I couldn't really tell right away that these are a bunch of houses because the colors are so weird, and it has like a tilt shift perspective thing going on, which I went to photography school, so I kind of know what that is. And yeah, I just really like it because when you look closer you can see what it is, but from afar it just looks really cool. Then I got some books that I saw on the Women's Prize for Fiction long list, and the first one is Girl, Woman, Other by Bernadine Evaristo. I made a whole video about the long list, and this was one of the books that I mentioned that I didn't know if I wanted to read or not, but then loads of you said that it was really good, so here we are. It follows 12 different perspectives, which is one of the reasons I was kind of unsure about it. And it says it's a love song to modern Britain and Black womanhood. Like, that's the description that I've seen everywhere, and I can't really find any other descriptions, so I don't actually know what this is about, but if you guys say it's good, it's probably good. Next, I got Red at the Bone by Jacqueline Woodson. So I'm pretty sure this one spans over several generations, but it starts off in 2001 where we meet a 16-year-old girl, and then I think we move into the past and we meet her mother, and then we move further back and meet her grandparents. And I usually really like those sorts of generational stories, so this should be good. I also picked up Dominicana by Angie Cruz. This is historical fiction, and in it we meet a young girl from the Dominican Republic who I think marries a man who is quite a lot older than her, and they end up moving to America. And I don't know what it is about this, but I think this is gonna be so good, and it's probably the book from the Women's Prize for Fiction long list that I was most excited to discover. Then I got a book that was sent to me. It was in the Books That Matter book box that you may have seen me unbox in another video, and it was Things a Bright Girl Can Do by Sally Nichols. The theme of the box was Votes for Women, so this book is a historical fiction novel, and we meet three young women who I think they live in the East End in London, and they join the fight for the vote. And then I feel like there might be like a lesbian romance in this, which is pretty cool. And this is a book that I've almost picked up several times, so I'm really excited to finally have it. Next, I treated myself to a book that I've been eyeing for ages, and it's this beautiful thing called Glass Town by Isabel Greenberg. I've never read any of Greenberg's graphic novels, but all of them look amazing, and I think this is her newest one. It explores the childhood of the Brontes and this fictional town called Glass Town that they created back then. And I think that sounds really interesting, and the artwork looks amazing, and it's overall just a stunning book. Then we've got two books in Norwegian, and the first one is De Døde Stjerne by André Bjerke. This is a classic mystery/horror novel, and the story is about a group of young people who decide to travel to this cabin in the woods to investigate the suicide of one of their friends. And I have already read this and reviewed it, and it was so creepy. And I can't find an English translation of this, but this title translates to The Lake of the Dead. The second book in Norwegian is a non-fiction book, so we're moving on to non-fiction now, and it is En japansk vår by Ina Ström. This translates to A Japanese Spring, and the author of this is a journalist, and the book is about her experiences of being in and traveling around Japan. And I don't know, there was just something about this that really caught my eye, and I do love the cover design. Second to last, we have got this book called This Is Not a Drill. This is a book about climate change, and it's by Extinction Rebellion, which, if you don't know, they are like a climate activist group protesting for the environment. And this seems to have like essays from all kinds of different people, and I've seen some other people read this, and the things that they have said makes me very nervous, but I'm also so curious. So I think this is gonna be kind of devastating, but also probably interesting. Lastly, we have got Invisible Women by Caroline Criado Perez. This is a book that I've wanted for ages, so when I saw it in a bookshop not too long ago, I just had to get it. It says right here it's about exposing data bias in a world designed for men. So for instance, I didn't know this, but if you're a woman and you're in a car accident, you're more likely to get seriously injured because of the way the safety of the car is designed, which, what the hell? How horrible is that? Like, we can land on the moon, but we can't make this work for everyone. I'm really excited to read this book, and I kind of just want to start it right now. The chapters look really interesting, and it's split into several parts. So we have daily life, the workplace, design, going to the doctor, public life, and when it goes wrong. And I'm especially interested in that going to the doctor thing, because I've read a little bit about how drugs work differently in the male and female body, and how, of course, they do more research on the male body. So I think that's going to be really interesting. Okay guys, those are all the books that I had to show you today. Let me know if you have picked up any exciting new books lately, or if you've read any of the books that I mentioned, and I will see you soon. Bye!